really setting the face very open at address. So if this would be, let's say, flat, I'm getting that face completely on the ground for the most part. If you want to have an elite level short game, you need to be able to hit shots like this one, which I would call this a short-sided shot where we're going to have to either add some loft or add some spin. And so what I have out there is I have a landing spot about a yard on, and I'm going to show you how I would hit this shot with my 60 degree, kind of like a low to mid spinner where I'm not adding a lot of loft. And just for argument's sake, let's say that we can't kind of bump this shot into the hill and we actually have to carry it onto the green. You know, in most cases, carrying the ball onto the green is going to be more predictable. I can promise you that a good short game player is definitely going to be carrying this on. This is not a situation that would warrant bumping it. So I'm going to hit one, then I'm going to kind of go over how I hit this shot. If you've watched any of my short game stuff, you know that I always chip 5-ball sets, and I like to choose a proximity goal. So I would say for this one, I would be averaging about 5 feet would be pretty good. This is definitely a tough shot, but it's not that difficult of a shot that I would say 7 or 9 feet. So here we go. I've got my 60 degree tee grind, like always. And as best I can, I'm going to be hitting as basic of a shot as I can, you know, really close to that purple dot. Yep. I almost hit the dot. It's rolling down there. Yeah, so that's probably right at 3 feet, so 1 for 1. Now let me dive a little bit into how I hit that shot. So number one is I got my 60 degree, and then the second piece is I'm really setting the face very open at address. So if this would be, let's say, flat, I'm getting that face completely on the ground for the most part. Now that doesn't mean I'm trying to hit it high. I'm really doing that because that creates a lot of spin. I'm honestly trying to hit kind of a low cut feeling with the face being open. I'm kind of setting up like a bunker shot, so I've got my feet pretty wide. I'll do this from the face-on perspective. Feet pretty wide, they're very straight with the ball slightly forward, and I'm leaning left. I'm going to be hitting the cut, so I'm going to be hitting the ground later, so I can have the ball a little bit forward. So you can see my face is very open there. My feet are very straight, though. Obviously, I'm aiming left. We've got some wind off the left, and the green is sloping to the right. But I'm not doing anything too fancy with my swing. I would say I'm doing a fairly basic, like low cut. Yep, that landed a little bit left, but I think I kind of need to go left because of the wind being, you can see the flag is moving. Okay, so far 2 for 2, very happy with that. The grass here is pretty good. It's a little tight, nothing crazy. Okay, so let's do another one. This lie is not great. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it. Gotta trust that my motion is gonna produce what I want. 1, 2, yeah. A little far in the carry, but I think I made it. Okay, that's about 6 inches. As long as I'm carrying the ball within a yard of that dot, I'm totally fine. I don't expect perfection that I'm gonna land it really, really close to that, but if I can land that within a yard and then my shot is the right choice, then in theory, I should be within 3 feet most of the time. Okay, let's do a couple more. The other thing I'm thinking about in my swing, which I haven't said, is in general, when I'm trying to add spin or loft, the last thing I want is for the club head to get inside my hands. If I ever get in this position where my lead wrist flexes, the face shuts and gets inside, well, this is a shut face from the inside. This is going to produce a lot of ball speed and very low spin and very low launch. So I'm actually feeling like I'm spinning the face open while keeping the club head outside and trying to do this motion. So you can see my lead wrist is actually in this position where it's actually cupped or extended, which is good for short game. Not necessarily great for someone trying to hit a draw-in full swing, but if you're trying to hit a nice soft shot in short game, you definitely want to have this picture. All right, let's do 2 more. I really feel like I'm doing kind of a Jason Day type swing. You know, nothing out of the ordinary with my my swing. Oh, that's probably my best one. A little bit left, a little bit too far left, but that's probably 5 feet, which is my goal. I think I should probably move my goal maybe to 3 feet or 4 feet. Okay, last one. I gotta make one of these. I would like to make one. Maybe I'll make one in a minute. Yeah, that's good. That's gonna be close to going in. That was good. That's probably about 2 feet. You know, when it comes to short game shots, the only things we're in control of are the shot we choose, where we choose to land it, you know, what our shot intent is versus draw versus fade, and then what club we use. So when you're practicing short game, it's really important to identify those things. And if you're very consistent at being able to control your trajectory and your landing spot, you can see you get very consistent results. So now we're going to move that landing spot a little bit further, hit it a little bit higher, and to just show you a different type of shot you might hit from here. Okay, so now I've adjusted my landing spot a little bit further, which means I'm going to have to hit it with more spin and more loft. And you know, the benefit of carrying it further is I have more room for error if I tend to hit it short, but this shot in general is a little bit more challenging than the other one. I think I would still keep my proximity at the 5 to 6 foot range, but I'd probably have to practice this one more. So from a setup standpoint, I'm not going to be doing a whole lot different. The only thing you'll see me do is probably a little bit bigger swing and then a little bit more of a follow through where I'm rehinging the club off my left hip this way. So this motion is generally adding a little bit of loft. I'm always trying to find the easiest way to hit shots, and this is kind of what I've found being a fairly easy way to hit kind of a higher shot. So 1, 2, that was a little short on the landing spot, but it was a pretty good shot. Obviously I need to go a little bit higher. I probably missed my landing zone by about 2 or 3 feet. Okay, let's do that again. Again, I'm always chipping with range ball, or not with range balls. Again, I'm always chipping with good balls. The last thing you want to do is get used to chipping with a range ball. You need to be practicing with the ball that you use so you can have predictable launch and spin. Okay, let's do that again. That's nice. That literally hit the spot, and I think it went in. Okay, that's literally on the edge. I think the wind might blow it in, and I probably will knock that ball in if I hit another one that would go in the hole. So that was closer. I think on that one I added a little bit of speed, which was helpful. I mean, if you're gonna hit it high, you're gonna have to hit some shots with a little bit of speed. Okay, let's go again. And you can see my follow through was definitely a little bit further. I kind of feel like in this shot, I'm kind of set up like a bunker shot slightly. Yeah, that's nice too. Landed within probably a foot of the spot. You can see that's maybe 2 feet. Okay, so you start to own shots like this when you can do this over and over, kind of like I'm demonstrating right now. If you feel like you only hit this shot 1 or 2 out of 5 good, then most likely when you get in a setting where you need to trust it, you're probably not gonna have a whole lot of trust. But when you can do something 5 times, that really means that you own the shot. That's why I practice with 5 balls. If I can do something 5 times, I must be pretty good at it. Doing something 1 time, yes, golf is one shot, but sometimes we get lucky or the shot kind of turns out okay. If you have this level of precision in your short game, then you would think that it will translate to the course over and over and over. We'll go again. And again, a lot of this has been because I've basically figured out my system of how to make my short game as simple as possible. Hit the spot. I literally hit the spot. It's gonna knock that ball in. It knocked it in, and now that one's sitting on the edge. So, hope that was helpful. I'm trying to give you guys some insight into how I practice and what I think about when I practice. So, as best you can, I would try to incorporate some of this stuff because I really do think it will help. This is very much what I do with the people that I see. You know, and you can only control the things that we can control, like our club selection, the type of shot we're choosing, where we're gonna land it. So hopefully you found that helpful. Please subscribe if you haven't, drop a comment, and best of luck next time you practice your short game.